Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park for October 15th, 2009 to order. On roll call, Councilmember Caramagna is absent. Let the record reflect that Councilman Caramagna did indicate he would not be here tonight. He has guests from Italy visiting and would be absent due to those visits. Council members Conboy.
Here.
Councilman McLaughlin is absent due to illness. Councilman Czerwinski.
Here.
Bonsino.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant them in a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231, the State of New Jersey requires that a notice of publication in the Record and the Herald News, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2009.
Mayor, this evening we have the minutes from the regular meeting of October 1st, 2009.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes, please?
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, Mr. Castiglia, discussion?
Keith, just...
Call a roll. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Sure.
In my report from the last meeting, you had down for the homeowners meeting October 23rd. It's October 28th. Maybe I misspoke, or...
What is it?
October 28th.
Okay, we'll reflect that in the final version that enters into the minute book.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Call a roll.
Council members Caramagna is absent. Council members Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin is absent. Czerwinski.
Here. No. I'm sorry. Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening, under ordinances on first reading, we have Resolution 29309, introduce Ordinance 09-20 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 3 thereof, entitled Police Regulations, to add a new section prohibiting parking with snowplows attached except during certain times, be passed and adopted on final reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 5th, 2009 at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the Borough Clerk be and is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Bonsino, any discussion? Mr. Czerwinski, this is your ordinance. Snowplows.
The snowplows, yes. It was long overdue. This ordinance will enforce the removal of snowplows from our street during the summer months. If you notice on some of the side streets here, even one behind City Hall here, it's been a plow sitting there all summer long in the street and have to move it. So we hope this will light the fire under them.
Thank you. There isn't anyone in the audience, but anyone who is viewing this on television, I'd just like to comment on this. There are in times when people indicate, how come you don't have an ordinance like this before? It only comes in now. Well, for the many, many years that I've been on the council and as mayor, we never had a problem. We have one person who's got a plow on his truck, and he leaves it parked in front of the house. And until we put the ordinance about removing the trucks, it just sat there. And when you tell him to move it, there's no law against it, and he's right. There never was a need for it. So we have to go through publication, the cost of publication, and everything else, so that we can get that plow off the road.
Ridiculous.
Call roll, please.
On introduction, council members Caramagna is absent. Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin is absent. Czerwinski.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight, under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 29409, payment of bills. Resolution 29509, confirmation of checks. Resolution 29609, confirmation of payroll. Resolution 29709, canceled stale dated checks. Resolution 29809, approve Edward Byrne grant for police equipment in the amount of $15,833. Resolution 29909, approve curfew for Mischief Night and for Halloween. And Resolution 300, which is to authorize the 2009 municipal grant agreement.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second by Mr. Conboy. Any discussion on any of these? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmember Caramagna is absent. Councilmembers Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin is absent. Chewinski,
Yes.
Valensino.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mayor, maybe you should just mention the times for this curfew for the public, so they, wherever, I know it's been in the paper, but
Okay.
at least they'll know it.
That's a good idea. The curfew, that is Resolution 29909, is passed by us calling for a curfew after 9 p.m. curfew, and that would be on Mischief Night, which is Friday, October 30th, and Halloween, Saturday, October 31st. So everybody would have to be off the streets by 9 p.m. It's worked well,
Yep.
and quite frankly, over the years, we haven't had any problem with that, but occasionally you do get some rambunctious young men and women. Thank you, Mr. Chewinski. 9 p.m., excuse me.
Mayor, under resolutions this evening, we have Resolution 301-09, whereas a traffic condition exists along New Jersey Route 4 and East 55th Street in the Borough of Elmwood Park and the Borough of Fairlawn in the County of Bergen, which requires the installation and operation of a pedestrian flashing signal with pedestrian push buttons and lighting. And whereas it is necessary to expedite the safe movement and conduct of pedestrian and vehicular traffic, and whereas the state of New Jersey has indicated its willingness to install pedestrian flashing signals along said intersection, and whereas the state of New Jersey has proposed a form of agreement pertaining to the maintenance of said pedestrian flashing beacons. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the mayor and the clerk of the Borough of Elmwood Park be and are hereby authorized to enter into an agreement with the State of New Jersey, acting through its Commissioner of Transportation, for the purpose of the aforesaid agreement being attached hereto and made part thereof.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? This was supposed to be done in the spring, around April and May, and we're still working on it with the state transportation. It's amazing. We try to stay updated on all these items, and we're still working on this. It's getting dark out. The reason we want the light there is that people get off the train, and they have to cross Route 4 to get to the parking lot. It's only about 7-8 months behind schedule, but we're still working at it. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmember Caramagna is absent. Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Valensino?
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 302-09, whereas Boswell Engineering has submitted a proposal for the construction, engineering, and inspection services for Kip Avenue Section 2, and whereas the CDBG grant for Kip Avenue Section 2 is in the amount of $183,982.00, and whereas this project is a continuation of the Kip Avenue Section 1 project. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that Boswell Engineering be and is hereby authorized to perform the necessary engineering services design phase as per the proposal of September 25th, 2009 for the Kip Avenue Infrastructure Improvement Section 2 not to exceed $18,000.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Vincino, any discussion? Mr. Clerk, is that Section 2 or Section 3?
This right now is Section 2. We'll be applying for a grant for Section 3.
For Section 3.
Yes, this
We've
is
finished Section 1 already.
correct.
We've been approved for Section 2. That's going to be in the spring.
Correct.
And this will take us close to the railroad tracks, which is the end of the street. And that would be grant money. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Council Members Caramagna is absent. Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Valensino?
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, under reports this evening, we have the Department of Public Works, the Police Department, and the Municipal Court.
Motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, Mr. Castiglia, discussion, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. And the application, the American Legion 50/50 raffle and VFW's instant raffle, motion to approve. Mr.
Second.
Conboy, Mr. Chewinski, any discussion, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. Committee reports, Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody, please again, we talked about this a little while back, a couple of months ago. Anyone who lives around our parks or by Borough Field, we're doing a lot of work, spending time in those parks to dress them up, do some painting. You've heard me talk about some of the improvements we're going to do as the year moves along into the spring of 2010. And we just ask everyone's participation and help in maintaining these parks. When the evening comes, the parks are closed. If you do see anyone in the parks, please just give a jingle down to the police department so that they can stop by and see who's in the park after dark. We'd appreciate it. Help keep the vandalism down a little bit. Also, just wanted to remind everybody, this is our last public meeting for the month, so be careful with Halloween coming up. Watch the trick-or-treaters while they're out there. I also want to put my best wishes and prayers out to Councilman McLaughlin and wish him all the best as he's home now. And just want to wish Councilman Chewinski, he's put his heart and soul into everything he's done here on the council. I want to wish him luck in the upcoming election. And to Keith Work, who's sitting here in the audience tonight, he's put a lot of time into it, and I hope the election goes well for him too, and best of luck. And also to you, Mr. Kazmark, good luck with your election, since we won't see you until after the election.
We hope to see you after the election.
Yeah, hope to see you. That's true. We hope to see you after the election. Thank you, Mayor. That's it.
How about wishing the mayor good luck in his election? It's not going to be for 2 years to 3 years, but you might as well get started now. It's, you know, get it moving.
Well, I think you have some history on your side.
Thank you. Mr. Bocino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. At the last meeting, I mentioned some initiatives we have underway relative to energy conservation. We're in the process of completing paperwork for the public service electric and gas audit. We'll submit that shortly. And in parallel, we're also putting together paperwork for the sustainable energy meeting. That paperwork's due beginning of the month of November. That group is going out to look at purchasing gas and electric as a commodity, and we're part of that. Relative to the health department, I was hoping to have our health officer here at this meeting to discuss H1N1 and our planning for the vaccination program, but it's a little bit premature. In fact, today there was a meeting scheduled with our health department officials and OEM to discuss preliminary planning and also in preparation for the grant that we applied for that was discussed at the last meeting. So hopefully at our first meeting in November we can get back to that and have our health officer here. Homeowners meeting, as I mentioned briefly at the beginning, is the next homeowners meeting is Wednesday, October 28th at 7:30 at the American Legion, and the Volunteer Ambulance Corps is having the haunted house on Halloween, October 31st. There's a time change. It's 6:30 to 9 p.m. to align with curfew. And I also would like to wish Councilman Chewinski and Keith Work the best, and Keith Kazmark, the upcoming election, and also my regards go out to Councilman McLaughlin. Thank you.
Thank you. Gentlemen, let's not wish anybody else any more good luck on the election. Since the opposition isn't here, I don't think it's proper at the meeting. Okay. Mr. Chewinski.
You're right. Just got this tonight. This is very important. Two of our fire officials received the Fire Prevention Inspector of the Year Award for 2009.
I'm going to have them come in
Okay.
next meeting.
All right.
You can give their names if you want.
Excuse me. Angelo Castronova and Mike Sulik. I just came from Jack's house. He's weak. He's hanging in there. He's going to try and watch the council meetings on TV if he can, but he's hanging in right now. I got the GIF reports here and our control loss report from Jack. He handed it to me. I'll forward this to Keith Kazmark for a review for the council, anybody in the town who wants to see it. Let's see. The ongoing complaints at Lily Arts Lane, 80 Main Street, and various other houses in town that I got a number of them over the past weekend with my running mate as we were walking door to door, and I forwarded that all to the building inspector. Presently, they are fining the company at Lily Arts Lane every day. He's still storing the granite there.
Thank you.
And I attended the Hall of Fame dinner last night with the mayor. It was very interesting and very nice to know that the VFW does donate heavily to our recreation department. I was pretty amazed at the amount of people they had there and dedicated to our town. More people should attend these functions. And that's about it, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Mayor. Jack McLaughlin, you know that you're in all our thoughts. Let's see. I have the road surfacing. Was completed last week. The regular 2009 road surfacing. Spidell Avenue from Miller to Orchard. Spidell Ave from Phillip to Gilbert. The intersection of River Road and Gilbert Avenue. Intersection of Viveny Street and Gilbert. Phillip Ave from the Boulevard, about 100 feet west. Summit Ave from Grant Ave, about 500 feet west. Garvey Place was done, which also included a water main tie-in. There's a lot of work. There was a lot of work going on. Henry Street from Cadmus Ave to Stefanik Ave. Intersection of East Parkway and Birchwood. West Parkway. Also an intersection on Augusta Street and Caruth. Augusta Street and Market Street. The Martha Avenue project will be starting shortly. And the Kip Avenue Section 2 project, like we mentioned earlier, is going to be done in the spring. And we're also applying for another. That's done with a grant, a community development block grant. I think it's about $184,000. And we're putting in for another grant for Section 3 for next year. Now, as far as planning goes, it seems that there's a trend. I don't know if it's only in this town. I guess it isn't. But we had a planning board meeting last night, and a couple of the applications were professional offices in town, like an accountant, real estate office. What they're doing right now is they're staying in the same buildings that they have been in, but they're trading down to smaller offices. So I guess that's what's happening to everybody with this economy. They're looking to save some money on their rent. That's two of the applications we had last night at the planning board. Aflac Insurance is coming in on the Boulevard, 630. That's the Food and Tile building, the Boulevard entrance to the Food and Tile building. We have some new owners for Casella Brothers building. Remember Casella Brothers Stationery? There's been some other businesses in there since then. There's some new owner on that.
What are they going to do there, Larry?
There are two stores in there now that are going to stay there. The third one is kind of undecided right now. It's just a change of ownership.
Oh, okay.
They're not really coming in for an application on anybody moving in yet. And the big one in town, I guess, is Toys R Us is going to be coming into the Elmwood Shopping Center, where the old KB toy store was. It's been closed up for a little while now. It's been empty. So Toys R Us is coming in there. And the last thing, Mayor, is another reminder from the Water Department that the hydrant flushing does continue. It'll be continuing to approximately October 21st. I believe the sections they have left to do are from Market Street south, but you can check the community news. It's in the paper again today as to what sections they're doing, what dates, so you can be prepared for that. And that's about it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good report. Mr. Giblin? No. Thank you. As you can see from Mr. Castiglia's report, there's an awful lot of roads being paved, part of roads being paved, intersections. Keep in mind there are 43-plus miles of road in town, and no matter when you go out campaigning, when's my street being done? We can't pave 43 miles of streets, so we do it as we can. We try to hit them, the ones that are traveled most. Cul-de-sacs and things of that nature are not a top priority, but we do have roads that are cracking, and they have to be repaved. For the people who live up in the Cherry Hill area around Opal Ave, that's going to be on the list for next year. I think we all agree that's a bad situation that has to be corrected, and that will be corrected. So we also did Showbot Lane this year. That wasn't done under the previous administration. Kip Avenue, we did that. That was forgotten, and there were a couple others that were forgotten. So we're still catching up on on some of the mistakes that were made 2 years ago, so it's helping us out quite a bit. I do want to say to the council here and to the audience that I was at a meeting with the new manager of the apartments complex in Elmwood Park and the new regional manager of the apartment complex in Elmwood Park. They're willing to work very diligently. They're now paying for 2 police officers that are there in the evening around the apartments. They'll try to put some new lights in there, that was asked, and they wanted to do that. And so that everybody here knows, I sent the new manager the map of the possible site of parking areas in the apartments that they drew up, we didn't draw up, so that they can try to get some off-street parking, and I pointed out how it can be beneficial to the owners if they do have the off-street parking, and he's going to be looking into that. I guess I'm mentioning at this meeting because individuals change, people leave the job, new person comes in, you start all over again. Mr. Chewinski and I have sat down at meetings because the other fellows are working with the Department of Transportation, the park and ride and everything else. It's amazing how many people are working down there, and within a year or two they are switched, they are moved, they're transferred, and we start all over again. So it's mind-boggling. I don't know what we're going to do with the national health care if we can't find a park and ride. It takes us 3 years to put in right down here. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to open the meeting to the public. I feel like this is C-SPAN, and we're all making speeches saying, hey, look at what we're doing. There's nobody here. We have Mrs. Chewinski, and we have Mr. Wirth, who's a candidate. And that's it. That's it. So anybody in the audience who wants to be heard?
How about the camera?
How about the cameraman?
Mr. Cameraman, you want to be heard.
Yeah, Dodger game.
No one wishes to be heard. What do we do? Sing some songs here, or just have a motion to adjourn? What time is it? It's 8:30.
Yeah, wow.
That's it.
I think we should stay here a while because the cameraman wanted to go home and watch the Dodger game. He's pacing now. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, before we go, is he still on? I'd just like to say something to Mr. Chewinski, then we'll make it brief. Mr. Chewinski and I were at the Hall of Fame dinner, Athletic Hall of Fame dinner last night, and I just wanted to mention my daughter was selected to be on the Hall of Fame. She's the first cheerleader. First cheerleader to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. She used to cheer with the Nets and a couple other professional sports teams, and I thought it was excellent, not because it's my daughter, but I have 3 daughters, they all cheer, 2 granddaughters, they all cheer, and I go out and I see these young ladies on Borough Field practicing their cheering, and they put in as much time and effort as anybody else, and I think the Hall of Fame deserves credit for opening it up and letting young ladies get in there as cheerleaders. So, thank you very much. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski and Mr. Conboy. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Thank you.